brothers and sisters. As a child, I kept seeing things when I was, you know, all the time. All the time, I would have visions. It would shock me. I would have all sorts of visions that I was standing in heaven before the heavenly throne. And I remember those things so well. It would drive me crazy. You know, at the point where to the point where I thought that, I was losing my mind. I was just seeing things. You know how a child would see dreams. He would see dreams and have fascinating thoughts, and he would wonder, why on earth did he keep seeing these things? And, you know, my mama, she's a minister, she's teaching the gospel. And I learned time after time again the trials I was going through in my life. That when I saw myself standing in heaven and I saw huge red dragon and I knew I was standing before the throne of God and I saw this huge red dragon that's standing up there. He's looking at me. He's about to do all these crazy stuff. And I was commanded to knock him down and stuff like that. I remember all these things. And I would go out my way to try to ignore this stuff. I remember one time I was walking home. And I kept trying to get a ride and I couldn't get a ride. And then I saw my bicycle. I got my bicycle and I started riding it. I was a kid then and I ran outside. I was I rode my bicycle and I ran into the street and a bus came. I wasn't paying no attention to that bus. That bus run over my waist, which was weird. My bicycle, I slid underneath the bus and the back wheels run over my waist. And strangely, something picked me up and pulled me out. Some people may think that I'm lying or whatever. I don't care. Give me a lie detector test or whatever you want to do. I'm telling you the truth. God is my witness. What happened to me happened to me. I don't tell lies. I tell the truth about my life. And I looked at my bike. The woman in the bus stopped a little ways up. I believe she was looking out her mirror to see whether I was going to get up off the ground. I got up off the ground. I looked at my bike. The wheels was crushed. And strangely, I was able to walk and go back home and put my bike up. I was shocked at what had happened, but I didn't say anything to anybody because it wasn't anybody's business but my own. I kept denying what I had seen, the visions over and over again I have kept seeing. And I would tell my mama some things, but I didn't want to tell her everything because I knew she's going to, just tell me a different story or whatever, tell me what it actually was. I wasn't going to be able to do the wild things that I was going to do when I want to do things. Because in faith, we believe that we should not do any type of wrong. And I wanted to do wild things that young kids do, that young men did. And that's what led me to all my trials and tribulations, what I went through, the fighting, the constantly going through the mischief and all these things. So I'm telling you about this because I know there's a lot of you out there today that haven't fully grown up and still doing the same thing. But you need to wake up. I mean, I was only a child doing stupid things and God himself whipped me and grew me up completely. I remember when I was in heaven, the love that I felt, there's nothing on earth that can compare you to heaven. Nothing is compared to heaven. And people say that there are streets of gold, but what I seen was ivory streets. I've seen the throne of God. I've sat near it. I walked into the heavenly choir and I saw the angels sing. I saw a many things that no one had ever seen. But man would not believe the truth, even when you tell them the truth. So how can you even tell them the truth? But you must try and make them to understand. If they want to know, because they're being tested, even humanity. Humanity think that they are all powerful. They're highly advanced. How can you be highly advanced when you don't even know what's in your sky? There are things out there that move a lot faster than airplanes. Look, Millen moved faster than an airplane. Millen can disguise his crafts and hide in the clouds. Millen is a devil. Man, don't know anything about Millen. When I was in high school, I kept having this vision over and over again. In a lunchroom, I would see all these devils falling from space. I was wondering why I kept seeing these devils. He said to me, you will prophesy, and you will cause the skies to open up a portal in the heavens, that the heavens be shaken. This is what the Lord has showed me. This is what he told me. And I said, I'm not a prophet. He said, oh, but you are. You're not just an archangel, Michael. You were Elijah the prophet. And I was sitting concerned about these things. You see, I was concerned and worried for no reason, because after a while, I had to be tested and shown the truth. So don't ever doubt God's word when he tell you to do something, or he tell you that something is going to happen. Don't say, I'm just a normal man. I'm not the servant of the Lord. Look, people laugh and joke. They tell lies and they criticize, but they don't know the power that the truth holds. You see, God chooses people for a purpose. When I was out there in that field and I saw that saucer-shaped craft and that panel open up at the top and that creature staring at me with those shiny black eyes, I didn't know what it was. I was so terrified and asked the Lord to deliver me. And it looked at me, and this thing looked at me and grinned. Then put the panel back up, and the ship left. It was horrifying that I saw that night. I realized that the devil was busy, because I never in my life witnessed such an awful thing. And it was hard to explain to anybody, to tell anybody, but somebody down the street, a lot of people down the street saw it over the field. And they told me like this, yeah, we saw it. A lot of black people saw that thing. They said, yeah, we saw it. And some blacks there at that time was terrified, just as I was, to go outside. I wouldn't go outside for a while, because I saw all these cows with their heads gone and their blood sucked dry, and it was terrifying. It was awful back in the 70s when I saw this. I didn't know what to do. And the Lord showed me it was Millen. He told me that Millen was a destroyer, and he lived deep in space. He had huge freighter round ships, huge round freighter ships. They have artificial air inside of them, and they can breathe and live just like we do on the earth. They don't walk around and float in space. They can do whatever, they can do just about anything, because Millen discarded his post and fled and did all sorts of evil acts. And then I was seeing black triangular shaped crafts, and I was concerned, who is this? Is this Millen still roaming about? He told me no. He showed me, this is your brother Jardel. Remember Alpharia. So it came to that I learned these things. Therefore, I am known by them all up on high. I will leave you with this.